Do you think Meghan Markle's long-anticipated return to Hollywood has officially begun? A lot of people are starting to think so, but if you're already convinced, take a moment, don't celebrate too early. Before you go popping any champagne bottles, you might want to pause and really look at what's happening. Because this time, her so-called comeback isn't quiet, low-key, or tucked away behind the scenes. It's the complete opposite. It's loud, very public, and impossible for anyone to overlook. This isn't the kind of subtle re-entry where a celebrity casually shows up at a glamorous event and hopes people notice. It's a full-on, unmistakable move that practically demands attention. And now, it's no longer just about Meghan, because the real twist this time comes from Adele, the powerhouse voice and unstoppable energy from the UK. What really grabs attention is how their two very different worlds suddenly crossed, in a way no one expected. So let's take a closer look at what happened when their stories collided in such a memorable moment. Before we dive in, drop a 1-inch the comments if you relate to Meghan Markle, or a 0 if you see things differently. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, where we'll uncover even more behind this story. And she delivered it so quietly that everyone at Kris Jenner's birthday party could practically feel the temperature drop. It wasn't a gentle fade, it was the kind of sudden chill that sweeps through a room and makes every glittering surface freeze for a split second, as if something unseen had just drifted right through the center of Hollywood's most powerful crowd. Nobody said a thing, yet the shift was impossible to miss. A silent ripple everyone picked up on. Just picture it. A $165 million Beverly Hills mansion shining like a diamond, glowing under layers of soft light, so luxurious you could almost hear wealth humming from every perfectly polished surface. It wasn't just a lavish mansion, it was a stage built for the wealthiest and most influential, the people who can shape culture with a single decision. Everywhere you looked, famous faces drifted by, brushing shoulders as if at the Grammys, with gowns shimmering like waterfalls of stars, tuxedos cut to perfection, cinematic smiles frozen in place, and glasses of wine catching glimmers of gold. Conversations mingled with laughter, handshakes, flirtatious glances, and the soft fizz of champagne, all blending into one breathtaking, almost otherworldly atmosphere. This was a room where every step was noticed. Every breath seemed to carry a trace of Hollywood glamour, a space where light, music, and status merged into an energy that only the truly in crowd could ever fully understand. Every glance, every movement, every soft murmur of conversation seemed magnified, feeding off the presence of the powerful and famous gathered there. And in that electric atmosphere, the arrival of just one person could shift the entire dynamic of the room. Then, right in the middle of that glittering chaos, Meghan Markle walked in, breaking the rhythm like an unexpected spotlight, drawing eyes and attention without a word, changing the mood in an instant. She enters with unmistakable confidence, dressed as if she were the leading lady in the next James Bond film, sleek, striking, and impossible to ignore. The dress hugs every curve, catching the light in a way that makes her silhouette shine, and each step feels perfectly choreographed, deliberate, almost cinematic. She is glowing, truly glowing, radiating a brightness that makes conversations pause and turns heads instinctively, pulling everyone's attention toward her entrance. In that moment, Meghan didn't just arrive as another guest. She stepped into the mansion like a statement, a visual declaration that she was making her Hollywood return, and she was doing it on her own terms. She is glowing, utterly radiant, completely convinced that this is the night Hollywood finally whispers, "Welcome, darling. We've been waiting for you." In that moment, Meghan moves as if every light in the room has been turned on just for her, as if the entire event was orchestrated to mark her arrival. Each step carries a quiet, polished confidence, a subtle pride, the sense that she is walking into what could be a defining chapter of her life, the very moment when Hollywood finally opens its doors and recognizes her as someone destined to stand among its most powerful figures. Every expression on Meghan's face, from the subtle curl of her lips to the spark in her eyes catching the chandelier light, radiates the certainty that this could be the turning point she's been waiting for. The moment Hollywood finally embraces her as a star returning to her rightful place. To Meghan, this isn't just Kris Jenner's birthday party. It's a stage where producers, directors, and the most influential executives might finally take notice again, remember her brilliance, and wonder why her name ever faded from their conversations. She moves through the room believing that if tonight unfolds the way she imagines, if she captures the right attention at precisely the right moment, Hollywood will start rewriting the story, one that places her squarely at the center. But Hollywood had other plans. Across the glittering room, Adele sat among the A-list crowd, casually sipping her drink, radiating confidence, and not even glancing at Meghan. She didn't need to act cold. Her effortless indifference spoke louder than any calculated snub. While Meghan imagined the room shifting around her grand entrance, Adele, someone who naturally commands attention without trying, made it clear where the focus truly lay, simply by not acknowledging her. It was a quiet, powerful reminder that in Hollywood, the room doesn't always bend to your expectations. No judging stare, no hint of annoyance, not even the slightest flicker of interest. And it was precisely that quiet that revealed a deeper truth. Some people don't need to try to overshadow others. Their presence alone does it effortlessly. Adele is exactly that kind of person. She doesn't glare, posture, or play any games. Her calm, effortless confidence and quiet indifference make a statement all on their own. In that glamorous, buzzing room filled with designer gowns, sparkling chandeliers, and conversations dripping with Hollywood polish, Adele's stillness cut through everything, sharp and unmistakable, like a cool breeze slicing through the warmth, leaving everyone aware of her without her saying a single word. It wasn't malicious, and it wasn't about competition. It was simply the way Adele naturally interacts with the world, and in doing so, it unintentionally made Meghan feel out of place in the very moment she had hoped to shine. While Meghan pinned her expectations on tonight being a turning point, believing that her career might shift simply by showing up at the right moment, Adele, the undisputed queen of the party, didn't give her even a passing glance. That stark contrast between Meghan's high hopes and Adele's effortless indifference turned the entire atmosphere into a chilling reminder that not everyone sees Meghan the way she sees herself. For Meghan, tonight was a chance, a reset button, a symbolic re-entry into Hollywood's circle of influence. But for Adele, it was just a pleasant evening among people she genuinely enjoyed, a night to relax and be herself. And it was this subtle yet piercing difference that created an invisible, almost painful distance, one that forced Meghan to face a harsh truth. Sometimes, another person's silence speaks louder than a direct rejection. Without saying a word, it communicates that you are not part of this moment, no matter how much you wish you were. No smile, no wave, not even the polite nod people give when they have to acknowledge someone they don't particularly like. Adele didn't offer the slightest hint of social courtesy, the kind most celebrities rely on to avoid unnecessary drama. She didn't have to try. No reluctant glance, no forced smile, no casual acknowledgement that Meghan was even in the room. And the crazy part? This wasn't the first time. That's right. Adele is rumored to have brushed Meghan off before, in a way subtle enough to seem like coincidence, but sharp enough for insiders to notice. This time, however, it wasn't subtle, it wasn't quiet. It happened in a room where every movement is watched, where even the smallest shift in energy can spark a wildfire of speculation. And this time, it unfolded right in front of Hollywood's power players, the directors, executives, producers, and cultural influencers whose opinions carry far more weight than any party walls could contain. And almost immediately, the whispers began. No one spoke loudly, but eyes met and flicked, lips moved in quiet murmurs, and subtle gestures set off a chain reaction across the room. A smile disappeared, a glance tilted, an eyebrow raised, each small signal magnified in a space where every movement is noticed. People weren't just commenting on Adele ignoring Meghan. They were speculating on why it happened and what it might mean for her standing in Hollywood. In the industry's social ecosystem, that moment wasn't simple indifference. It was a sharp, unmistakable signal, an unspoken message spreading through the crowd. Some doors were closing, and they might not open for Meghan again. But my friends, that was only the beginning. When Meghan and Harry walked into Kris Jenner's party, they weren't just entering a celebration, they stepped into a room where every glance carried hidden meaning, where every smile could be a greeting or a warning. Beneath the music, glamorous lighting, and polite small talk lay a complex maze of social strategy, a place where people sized each other up with subtle eye contact, strategic positioning, and carefully curated conversations. This wasn't an environment where the Sussexes could simply walk in and blend seamlessly. They had entered a stage where every move mattered. This was the ecosystem of Hollywood's most influential players, a room where every gesture is analyzed, every silence noticed, and every misstep could be headline gossip by morning. Meghan and Harry had stepped straight into a social minefield filled with icy hierarchies, subtle schemes, and an intensity more awkward than a high school cafeteria showdown. Every step felt like navigating unfamiliar territory, and every interaction held the potential to shift alliances or reveal cracks in the carefully curated facade. In this room, lingering too long near someone could be read as the start of a new alliance, while being ignored might be seen as a quiet declaration of rivalry. The air itself felt sharp, charged with unspoken expectations and uncomfortable truths. Meghan and Harry weren't just arriving at a party, they were stepping into a world where everyone else knew the rules, and they did not. And that's where our story truly begins, not with glitter and glamour, but with the cold, chilling silence of Hollywood politics at its most unforgiving. The moment Meghan and Harry stepped out of their luxurious car, the contrast in their energy was almost palpable. Meghan emerged with radiant confidence, glowing as if she had just hit the jackpot, moving with the poise of someone savoring a spotlight she had long dreamed of claiming. Her hair was flawlessly styled, her form-fitting dress highlighted every curve with deliberate elegance, and her smile was so dazzling it seemed to outshine the entire Beverly Hills skyline. Every detail combined to create an image of a vibrant, radiant Meghan, exuding the excitement of someone fully immersed in a moment she had been anticipating for years. She looked as if she had finally scored the golden ticket that so many could only dream of, a coveted invitation to Kris Jenner's ultra-luxurious 70th birthday celebration, hosted at Jeff Bezos's jaw-dropping $165 million mansion. From the moment she arrived, the atmosphere seemed to shift in her favor. Every glance, gesture, and expression radiating a barely contained excitement, as if the room itself had noticed her presence. The event felt like the perfect stage for Meghan to shine at full capacity, a chance to assert herself amid a gathering of some of Hollywood's most powerful and affluent figures, each carefully positioned in a space where influence and status were measured as much by subtle social cues as by wealth and fame. For Meghan, this event felt like the ultimate proof that she had truly arrived. The flashing cameras, the elite guest list, and the extravagant atmosphere all served as a clear validation for the world she had worked tirelessly to enter. To her, this wasn't just another party, it was a defining moment, a stage on which she could shine and demonstrate to everyone that she belonged among the highest circles of luxury and influence. Every step she took radiated confidence, every glance seemed perfectly measured, and every gesture suggested that this glamorous setting had been waiting for her arrival all along, a moment that confirmed her place in the world she had long sought to be part of. Harry, in contrast, wore an expression that couldn't have been more different from Meghan's radiant excitement. As he stepped out of the car, he looked as if he would rather be facing a dragon than the swarm of paparazzi waiting outside the mansion. His face carried a heavy sadness, his posture stiff and tense, every movement betraying a deep discomfort, clearly signaling that he would have preferred to be anywhere else. His grip on Meghan's hand wasn't affectionate, it was the desperate clutch of someone being dragged into a haunted house against his will. Every gesture, every subtle shift in his stance radiated reluctance and exhaustion, creating a stark contrast to the glittering glamour and excitement enveloping Meghan, as if the two were existing in entirely different worlds within the same moment. The moment Meghan and Harry stepped through those towering gates, the atmosphere seemed to shift instantly. Conversation softened, laughter dimmed, and heads subtly turned toward them. But the looks they received weren't the wide-eyed stares reserved for royalty. Instead, they were measured, socially attuned glances that silently said, "Ah, they've arrived." It wasn't awe, it was keen awareness, the kind that only comes from people who know exactly how the game of Hollywood social dynamics is played. Every face in the room carried a flicker of curiosity, not because of Harry's lineage or Meghan's fame, but because their arrival brought a different kind of weight to a setting where status, reputation, and influence were constantly being measured. To be clear, this wasn't a casual backyard birthday party with balloons and a barbecue. This was a high-level social convergence, a carefully curated environment where every guest was there for a reason. They were powerful, wealthy, iconic, or strategically important. Interactions in this space were rarely casual. Every conversation, every greeting, every subtle acknowledgement carried meaning and potential consequences. In a setting like this, Meghan and Harry weren't simply entering a celebration, they were stepping onto a stage filled with people who navigated social hierarchies with exacting precision. Every gaze that followed their entrance was sharper, more deliberate, and loaded with meaning. Meghan, deep down, believed she belonged here, part of this glittering ecosystem of influence, power, and elegance. But as she took a few steps further into the room, the reality of the situation settled over her like a quiet, unmistakable chill. The vibe in the room wasn't warm or inviting, it was chilly, unmistakably chilly. It was the kind of cold that comes from social distance, from polite but disinterested looks, from the quiet realization that not everyone saw her as a real part of this exclusive circle. Even with her brightest smile locked in place, she could feel a soft but heavy silence surrounding her, a silence that drew an invisible line between the people who naturally belonged and the ones who hoped to. And then, of course, there were the two undeniable stars of the night, Mariah Carey and Martha Stewart. Meghan could feel that coldness from the quick glances and the quiet tension around her, but will she dare to step across that line? And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more behind-the-scenes insights into moments like this.